I'm not a big fan, folks. I mean, let's be real. I'm not a big fan of talking about myself and shining the light on myself and all of that. I prefer to shine it on others. I just been that way ever since. I was born in the tiny island of Jamaica. Many, 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 many years ago, and came to Canada at a very young age. Grew up, in multiple places. We moved around. My mother was a hardworking woman. For most of my young life, I would say, single family home. So I saw my mother working, extremely hard to make sure that myself and my siblings were taken care of. We never had to go to bed hungry, anything like that. We were never homeless. We were always provided for. My mom was and is a very good mother, a very good woman. The Bible calls her a virtuous woman. So, we were grateful for that. I played a lot of sports. I was good at academics, specifically math and science. And so, I went on to university, started out in engineering, traveled around where university is concerned, took business administration, to computer science, different degree programs to feel around to see what I really liked. And that was kind of good for me because it gave me a well-rounded education. Took a lot of religious studies, studied Islam, studied Christianity, studied Judaism, so all these things, the various courses that I took while in university, gave me a solid foundation as I started my journey out there in the workforce. And certainly as I got out there in the workforce, working in the financial industry, helping people with their finances, I saw a lot of things. I was blessed to be able to travel, I'm not going to say the world, but certainly all over Europe, all over North America, throughout the Caribbean, and I've never been to Africa. Okay, so let me put that out there. I've never been to the continent of Africa. I've never been to Asia. But I certainly have done my fair share of traveling to places that I've enjoyed over the years, with my family. So that has been good. Again, it's great to be exposed to, different cultures, etc. One of my favorite places, I must say, is Venice in Italy. A close second is certainly the Greek islands. So, we've done a lot over the years. We've come across a lot of great people, people that we've admired over the years. We've had a lot of great friendships, but my true passion has always been my family. I've tried to, do everything possible to make sure my wife is taken care of. She's a great woman. We have three beautiful children. They're great at academics and also great at athletics. So we have a wonderful family. We have a very tight-knit, close-knit family. We're God-fearing people. We truly believe in our Creator. We have a special relationship with Him, I would say. We take time out of each week to spend with Him. We're always thankful and grateful that He's put us in position to succeed in life, not just from a financial standpoint, but always having good people around us. Even when there were dark times, He was always there to guide us through it, right? So we've had a pretty good life, I would say. Prior to OnPassive, we decided to create a business called Automatic Internet Millionaire. And because we saw a need, we saw a need that so many people are joining all these different companies, different businesses, and they would just fail, practically every single time. And so we kind of sat back and wondered, like, why is this? Why is it that, I can join a business and I can succeed with it, but then others would join, and for whatever reason, no matter, I showed them how to do this. And so I came up with the solution that you really had to do it for people. That was my solution, that, okay, if I can do it for you, then, if I succeed, then you will succeed. Okay. And so that's where Automatic Internet Millionaire AIM, that's where that came from. Being able to help people complete that sales process, on an automatic basis, basically help them to get in to whatever we're doing at the time, provide the necessary traffic for them, so that way it didn't matter about their skills, it didn't matter about their knowledge, their education, none of those things mattered. All they had to do was get in, and as long as they stayed with it. See, the key is patience, folks. So even though you may have something that's automatic, you still have to stay with it because there's time involved. It's not about money now, money now, money now, money now. Money now doesn't work, right? So it's important that people understand that. But longevity, if you stick around long enough, folks, somehow success will find you, and so we went on, to do what we're doing. And then we were introduced to OnPassive back in July of 2018, and so when we first saw it, probably around, I don't know, first or second week in July, I don't recall exactly, but somewhere around there, it was the beginning of July anyhow. And we saw, didn't really pay much attention at the time. We're like, we're okay. We're doing what we're doing. We're good. But then, so many people started to reaching out and say, no, you really have to take a look at this, etc. So I went back and I watched these 2 videos that our CEO had shared. And, and as I spent time and I went through it, it was like a aha moment, where I said, you know what? This is exactly, at the time, this is exactly what, we're trying to accomplish for all of our members. This makes so much sense, right? Now we can have an army behind us to make sure that every single one that we're involved with will succeed, right? That's what we wanted, and so about a month later, around the 8th, 9th, 10th of August, somewhere around there, we signed a dotted line, basically, right? And got involved with OnPassive. And, we just quickly decided to spread the word because we saw something that just made so much sense. It was right up the path. It was going in the same direction that we were going in, meaning that, you had to be able to give people something that really did not require their know-how. You had to be able to complete that sales cycle for them, which we've now come to know as CATMO. You had to be able to provide that to people for them to truly succeed. But we also know that in life, you go through ups and downs. It takes time. I remember my very first year out of university, I think we did something like 1 point something million in sales, I believe it was. And it doesn't always last, right? Things take time to develop, takes time to grow, take time to build. So not because you get out the gate and you're like, wow, look what I'm doing, it doesn't mean it's going to continue that way forever. But if you stick around, folks, if you stick around, right, if whatever you're in lasts, then certainly success is there, right? There's so many different examples that we can use of companies that started out and companies that didn't look like much in the beginning, but they stayed the course, and eventually they became giants out there in the industry. I remember there was a gentleman and he used to go door to door selling cookies, and people would laugh at him, but guess what? In the end, he became a millionaire, right? Because he stayed the course, he stick with it, and success was his. I remember another company we joined, and we ended up creating over 300 millionaires. For those who stayed the course, stick with it, success was theirs. But at the end of the day, what I like best is to see that others are experiencing success. When we see other people standing up, and knowing that they've made a positive change for their family, there's nothing like it, folks. The feeling that you get, sitting down with high school students, helping them with their math, with their physics, chemistry, helping them, and seeing at the end of the day, they're able to go through and do well in the course and go on to university and so on and so forth. It's a blessing, folks, to be able to see people succeed, whether it's academically, whether it's athletically, again, spending time with young children, helping them in various sports, etc. Giving back, all that you've gotten over the years, to be able to take that knowledge, that experience, and to give it back to others, and to see them go through and succeed. Folks, I can't think of a greater joy, when it comes to helping other people, right? It's just awesome. And that's what I see in OnPassive. I see in OnPassive, a way to be able to help other people, give back your knowledge, help them understand the process, help them understand that, yes, success is still on the table. Help them to understand that we have a CEO in Mr. Ash Mafara that just doesn't exist out there anywhere in any other company, right? We have the best of the best when it comes to CEOs, right? As far as I'm concerned, right? Because this is someone that is just filled with integrity. This is someone that speaks the truth. This is someone that is honest, someone that cares for other people, someone that means what he says, someone that will go to bat for you and me and for every single one of us around the world, over 200 countries. You can't help yourself but want to align yourself with someone like that. And that's what we have in OnPassive when we look at the various leaders and supporters and all these great founders that we have, in so many different countries. It's not just 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 folks. It's an army of people that are going in the same direction with the right mindset, that wants to make their dreams come true, and not just their own dreams, but their families and their families' families, generations. That's what we're talking about, folks. Want to be able to help their community and so on. So that's what I see in this company. So as we continue to work towards that success, right, I expect nothing but that, right? I expect nothing but success. I expect nothing but greatness, to come out of OnPassive, right? We're going to see a lot of people going out there creating foundations, that's going to help great causes around the world. We're going to see people out there donating to existing charities. We're going to see people uplifting themselves and their families, out of poverty. Poverty is not nice, folks. It really isn't, right? In case you haven't figured it out yet, right? It isn't a nice thing. And unfortunately, it's just a handful of people that have access to this great wealth that this planet provides. There's so much wealth in the world, so much. And yet it's just harbored by a few individuals. When you think of it, to have, around 3,000 billionaires in the world, that's not a lot of people. Not when you're talking about almost 8 billion on the planet, right? So to have 3,000, okay. Now, do we need everyone to be billionaires? Of course not, right? We don't even need everyone to be millionaires either, right? But we certainly want to have everyone to have at least the basic necessities in life taken care of. That should be the least. That should be the bottom, folks. Okay, we shouldn't be talking about people below the poverty line. Like, what is that, right? That's not what we should be talking about. We should be talking about, everyone having access, right? Having access to clean water, having access to proper shelter, right? Again, you can just click on, go, you don't necessarily have to leave your country. You can just go on YouTube, for example, and you can see most dangerous roads to travel to school, right? And you can see that these real roads, these real journeys that these young children, 6 years old, 7, 8 years old, have to travel just to get an education, right? That should be, again, one of the basic necessities, right? But it's there, folks, that so many are struggling, right? Even right now, even those that are in OnPassive, we know that we have people that are struggling financially. And so they quickly gravitate to junk. They quickly gravitate to garbage. They quickly run and, oh, you can make this money right now, that money right now, and all this fancy stuff. And they jump into these things only to be left behind once again. But we get it. We understand. People are desperate. Okay, but not because you're desperate means you should make mistakes. Okay, so we want to be able to, to be wise with the little that we have. Absolutely, right? Because over time, joy is coming. There is no doubt about that, folks. Right? So as I look forward to, after OnPassive, if you wish, meaning, we're all successful. What are the things that I look forward to as an individual? Certainly. I want to be able to have a lot of great support, right? I want to be able to support a lot of people's ideas, because, hey, there are a lot of great ideas out there, but unfortunately, there's not enough funding for them, right? Because people are not willing to give as they should. If it's not something that's going to make them $1 gazillion, they're not willing to put their money into it. But there's lots of ma's and pa's and small businesses and individuals that have great ideas how to help mankind as a whole, right? Or should I say humankind? But anyways, right? The bottom line is that we are here, right? We are here to make a difference before we leave this planet, right? That's how I believe. I believe that every single one of us has something that we can contribute. You don't have to have PhD or masters or any of that fancy stuff, right? Sometimes that person, with a grade 8 education, they have a lot to say. They have a lot to offer, right? But it takes someone willing to listen to what that individual has to say. It takes that person guts to want to share what's inside them. And then if you look close enough, you will find greatness in every single person, right? Even that person that was mean to you, right? You can find greatness inside them. It's just a matter of getting that light switch to flip around so their mindset becomes from negative to positive. And then you'll see that, yes, there's greatness in all of us, every single one of us, right? All of us, every single one of us on this planet have the creator inside us. There's no doubt. Why are we alive? How are we alive? You know what I mean? So there's something that makes us alive, right? There's something that separates the living from the dead. Okay. So what is that something that's in all of us? So all of us have greatness within. It's just a matter of how do you bring it out, right? And I believe that OnPassive is that tool to be able to bring that out of people so that they can go on and do great things and others can benefit from their greatness. We want to cheer on, now is the time of the Olympics, and when you see other countries cheering for other athletes. I watched the hammer throw and saw the Canadian woman, she won the gold. And, all of the competitors, they were just hugging each other, all from different countries. They're all competing against each other, but they're also happy for each other, though. They were happy for the person who won the gold, the person who won the silver, the person who won the bronze, and the others that were competing, right? And that's good to see, folks. So we're talking about different nations, right, supporting each other because of commonality. And that's the great thing about sports. And that's one of the reasons why I personally love sports so much. Okay. Growing up, I did track and field, basketball, football, soccer, I just love sports. Right. And so, one of the great things about sports is that it brings people together. Think of all the hatred that's out there in the world, right? Think of all the people that at war and all this fancy stuff. But guess what, though? When it comes to athletics, right? I saw athletes from Iran as an example, right? I saw athletes from Cuba as an example. They were there, they were competing, right? Ethiopia, right? Athletes from around the world coming together, right? That's the great thing about sports, folks, right? And we can learn from that. There are companies out there that hire students coming out of university, and they specifically look for ones who played sports at a high level. That's one of the characteristics that they're looking for, right? Because there's some things about people who compete, right? They're driven, right? They're driven. Now it doesn't mean that if you've never competed in a sport, you're not driven. Okay, that's not what we're saying, folks. Right? But we are saying that, when you look at people who are competitive in sports, because it takes a lot to be, especially at that level, it takes a lot, right? Absolutely, it takes a lot, and so we see that out there, and I just can't help but sharing on, we see the Indian sprinters, for example, again, we've seen countries that are not necessarily known for a particular event, and we see them shining, right? We see them shining in the Olympics, right? That is awesome to see, folks, right? We see, the women from China, the men teams, and it's just amazing, folks, right? That's all I can say about athletics. I can't say enough about it, right? About sports in general, simply because of the camaraderie. That's what I see in OnPassive also, right? That's what I see in OnPassive, the camaraderie, people coming together, right? It's amazing, folks. It's amazing. That's what we have here in OnPassive is like the Olympics, right? In the sense that we have competitors, we have athletes, we have participants from around the world, and we are all cheering on each other, right? We are supporting each other. We're standing with our CEO. We're standing with the leaders. We're standing with every single founder, every single person that says, yes, I am in. We're all standing together on a united front for a common cause, and that is to see each and every one of us successful. Think about that, folks. That's what OnPassive is all about, right? And so I draw from all of my past experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. Because, folks, it wasn't always pretty. Right? It wasn't always pretty. There's no doubt about that. There's been ups and downs in my life, in my family's life. But guess what? We're still standing. Why? Because of our belief. We believe in our Creator that gives us the strength to keep going on. And we believe that He's always there to guide us through, no matter what the situation is. Sometimes when things look really, really bad, and all of a sudden, poof, here comes a miracle. Right? We believe in miracles, folks, right? Again, I'm not telling you you should, but I'm telling you that we certainly believe in them, right? And so OnPassive is going to be a miracle, right? It is, right? Because which other company out there is looking to do what OnPassive is looking to do? Which other company? None. Not one, right? Not one, right? So it's going to be a miracle for this company to do what it says it's going to do, but I know it's possible. Why do I know it's possible? Because that's what AIM was all about, folks. It's about creating an automatic process for people to make sales. You make sales, you make money. It's just that simple, right? No matter what product you have, no matter what service you have, if you make sales, you make money. Simple, okay? But selling isn't simple. That's the problem, okay? Right? You make sales, you make money, that is simple. But selling itself isn't simple, which is why you need technology. This is why you need AI, artificial intelligence, to be able to help you through that process. And that's what Catmo is all about. And I'm sure there's more than enough videos out there about us talking about Catmo and so on. So we won't go in depth into that. But I just wanted to share that as far as what we have in OnPassive. So I believe now, you know, a little bit more maybe about me, although I think everyone already knows everything. When I got started in OnPassive, the experience we've had so far, the journey has been incredible, just incredible. I've met so many people now that I didn't know before. I know people in Germany now. I have relationships with people in Germany, in Switzerland, Sweden, right? Rwanda, right? Cameroon, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, right? Everywhere. Vietnam, Singapore, right? Egypt, India, right? So many places, folks, around the world, right? Really, 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 really close friends now, family, I would say, in Israel, right? So many places around the world, folks, you know, obviously America, we always know Americans, but, you know, it's great. It's great to have now expanded our family, you know, because of OnPassive, right? It's OnPassive has helped us to have a bigger dream than what we had before. Because as far as I'm concerned, Automatic Internet Millionaire was tiny compared to the dream of OnPassive, right? With OnPassive, now we can expand borders, right? We can now, you know, not just think of here in Canada, but to reach out to the entire world, right? To be able to help billions of people, not millions, but billions with a B of people. Now, will we help every single person on the planet? Probably not. Probably not. But we're certainly going to make a run for it. We're certainly going to do our best to help as many as we can, because we know that there's over 6 billion people on this planet with a B, as in Bob, that are in need financially. That is factual, folks, right? That is factual, right? You take out a few countries, right? Take them off the planet, and the rest of the planet is in poverty. It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. So how can we make a difference, right? How can we make a difference? We can make a difference by giving them a helping hand. We can make a difference by showing them how it's possible to achieve their dreams. We can make a difference by actually doing all the heavy lifting for them, because they don't have the knowledge or the know-how to make it happen for themselves and their family. That's what OnPassive is all about, folks, right? That's what OnPassive is all about, right? You may be living in Papua New Guinea. Maybe you've never left PNG, right? You've lived there all your life. You've never gone anywhere, okay? But guess what? OnPassive is going to help you live whatever your dreams may be. Maybe your dream is to travel the world, right? Maybe that's your dream, okay? OnPassive will be able to help you do that. Maybe you're in India, 1.4 billion people in one country. Canada has about 40 million people, right? And yet Canada is the second largest country in the world, land-wise. And yet our population is so tiny. And here is India, right? With 1.4 billion with a B people. That's a lot of people, folks. A lot of people, right? Don't they have dreams? Aren't they looking to do great things for themselves and their family? Right? Absolutely they are. Can OnPassive help them? There is no doubt whatsoever that OnPassive can help them. None whatsoever. Zero. All in time, folks. All in time. Okay? We know that we've been at it for a while, but guess what? It's worth the wait. Why? Because it's the only company that's going to make that positive difference in your life. OnPassive is not going to lie to you. Not our CEO. Okay? Maybe some other people in OnPassive may lie to you. Okay? But not our CEO. Okay? We know who we can trust. We know who we can count on. We know who we can depend on. Okay? We know who's faithful. Right? Folks, this is not your ordinary or typical business. It just isn't. Right? This is beyond that. It's beyond that. There is a spirit that is moving through OnPassive that you probably never experienced before. Never. Why? I've seen people come into OnPassive after having a down day, and they get onto a webinar and their spirit is uplifted. Even right now as I speak, I know that there's people listening and watching this right now, and they're going to walk away feeling better than before they came. Why? Why? These are not just lip service, folks. I'm speaking the truth. I'm letting you know that your future is secure, that your future is bright. Although you may not even think that. The reality, the truth, the facts is that your future is brighter than you think. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Why? because we care about you. OnPassive cares about you. Our CEO cares about you more than you probably care about yourself and your family. And that's a good thing, folks. I mean, that's the type of person that you want to go to bat with. That's the type of person that you want to be, behind you, pushing you to succeed, right? Think about that, right? If I'm in a football game, I want to know that the guys I'm on my defense, like they have my back, right? I want to know that if I'm going into a fight, right, that I've got some people that's not going to run away, you know what I mean? When it becomes, a little bit tough, right? All of a sudden you're losing the fight. Okay, I want people in my corner to be shouting positive things towards me, pushing me, encouraging me to continue to press forward. That's what makes champions, folks. You understand? You have to have that support, okay? And so we know our CEO is doing his best to make sure everything happens. And guess what? He knows that we have his back. Why? Because we believe, we know that it's a done deal, period. And when you have that kind of confidence, folks, you can accomplish almost anything in life. I won't say anything, okay? Because if you want to go fly, or you can't fly, okay, unless you get into a plane, right? But almost anything in life you can do. Why? Because positivity, being optimistic, having a steadfastness about what you're trying to accomplish, right? A never giving up attitude, right? A continue to push forward and forward and forward. Even though you may have lost 50 times, people join OnPassive. Why? Because there's still hope, right? There's still hope. That's what we're giving people, folks. Is real, not lip service hope, not fake hope, real hope. Why? Because we have something that is real company, real people. You understand? Real products, real rewards. It's just that simple, folks. You understand? I love OnPassive, right? I love this company. I love our CEO, right? I love great people, and I'm not going to call names because I tried that last time and it didn't turn out so well, okay? Because I'm going to leave out people, okay? But I love everyone that's in OnPassive that means OnPassive well, right? And you all know who you are, okay? You all know who I interact with and so on and so forth. And for those I don't even interact with, I still have you in my prayers because I pray for OnPassive every day, because I know prayer works, right? I've seen it, I've experienced it in my life, so I know, okay? And not because you pray for something and it didn't happen, it didn't work out for you, it doesn't mean prayer doesn't work, okay? It's just that simple, folks, okay? If I go to bat, if I'm a baseball player and I go to bat and I swing and I hit a home run, hey, right? It worked, right? Hey, I got an home run, no problem. But next time I may go to bat and I swing, and guess what? I strike out. Does it mean it doesn't work? No, it doesn't mean that, okay? It just didn't happen that particular time. It's as simple as that, okay? Folks, we have so much in store to look forward to. So much, so much. Being at this for 6 years, that's a short time. In essence, when you think about it, it's a short time. You take out 2 years out of because of COVID, now you're talking about 4 years, right? You take out the rough goings in the early stages. There wasn't a website in the beginning. You had to move from one office to the next office and so on. When you start to play around with all of this, folks, you see that, you know what? It hasn't been that long, okay? But at the end of the day, the bottom line is that how will we finish? And I say, hey, doesn't matter how you start, okay? But as long as we finish strong, right? As long as we finish strong, I remember cheering on, my kids, their basketball team, and that's one of the things I always say to them when it comes to fourth quarter, right? Finish strong, finish strong. Okay, it didn't matter whether they're winning or losing, it didn't matter, but finish strong, okay? And so I believe that with OnPassive, yeah, we're in that fourth quarter now, and we're going to finish strong, right? And we're actually going to win the game. It's as simple as that, right? Because we have a secret sauce. If you didn't know this by now, and that secret sauce is our CEO, okay? When you put great people on your team, folks, it's very difficult to fail. It's just that simple. right? Like I always say, you know, I don't do everything on my own, okay? I don't do everything on my own. I get people to surround myself with that are great people. If I have a legal issue, okay, I go get the best lawyer for the case, right? If I need stuff done around the home, I get the best, you know, person to come in and take care of whatever it needs to be taken care of, right? Surround yourself with great people, and that's what we have here in this wonderful company. So, folks, that's a wrap for me at this point. You know, because I hope that you gleaned something about me. I hope you gleaned something about how I think, where I'm at with our great company OnPassive. Outside of OnPassive, you understand that I have a wonderful wife. I'll say it again, right? Just in case she's listening, right? Right? I have a wonderful wife and 3 beautiful children. Okay, so signing off.